YouTube, it's been a while.
Every time you touch me, I feel energy. I feel energy. I feel energy.
2-year update, over 2 years update. This is going to be a 3-parter because there's a lot to run through. So part 1, we're going to talk about life in general, what I've been up to. Work, there's a lot happening in work, let me tell you. And then also mindset and mental health. Now, I've always been a big advocate for mindset and mental health, so I will touch on that kind of throughout because it does kind of play a part in quite a lot of points in my life. So I will talk about it throughout, but I will focus on it as a whole, you know, at one point. So let's talk about life. Oh, life. Life in general, you know, life's good. I'm not gonna lie, I'm 24. I've got a lot riding for me right now. Don't get me wrong, I am stressed out my box. I am conflicted on feelings. A lot has happened and we're gonna rally through it. So get yourself a coffee, get yourself some water, some juice. I have got both. Get yourself comfy. I've got my joggies on, I've got a blanket. Get yourself comfortable because we're gonna get into it. So what's been going on since I last filmed? So the first thing that comes to mind in my last vlog, obviously 2 years ago, I did touch on my wee Nana. I was looking after her at the time when I made that vlog. She unfortunately passed away about a month and a half after. We didn't see it coming, not at all. Now this is going to kind of touch on more mental health and mindset here as well. I looked after her for about 2.5, nearly 3 weeks, and then unfortunately she had to go into hospital because we as a family were no longer able to care for her. She did get very sick very quickly. She stayed in hospital for exactly a month to the exact date, and she never got out of the hospital. The night that she passed, I didn't get to say goodbye. I didn't get to say what I wanted to say, and that was really, really hard for me to accept. I actually had to leave the hospital at the time that she passed. Obviously we weren't aware that she was dying at the time. There was a miscommunication with the NHS. Now, I am not one to put down the NHS whatsoever, but there's a lack of support in the NHS, and that did have to be investigated after she passed because there was a lot of things that went wrong in her care that could have been prevented and could have let her come home, at least, and pass in her own home, which was her final wish that unfortunately she didn't get to get fulfilled. She never got that fulfilled, which was very unfortunate, but we did do her justice in doing so. When it was her funeral, we took her back to her home, which we called the Oval, and we drove her round the Oval and we piped her out her street. I got to walk behind her coffin. It was a good service. It was a good day. I got to speak at her funeral, and at that point I then did say what I wanted to say. I spoke about memories, the first things that come to my head when I think about her and talk about her, and I just hope that I'm making her proud, and just I'll see her later in another life. And that's kind of what I said. So that was kind of the first thing that came to my head that I wanted to kind of address, because she was such a large bright light in my life, but I am providing my own light now. So what else has been happening? I will touch on these things a bit more in part 2, but I'm still in my fitness era, still in my fitness journey. I have lost a lot of weight. That was the goal. I done a photo shoot and I competed as a bodybuilder. I'll put a wee picture on the screen somewhere, but I can technically call myself a bodybuilder now. Officially competing in the season. I done my first timer show in 2024. I done my first photo shoot in 2023. But again, I'll touch on that a wee bit more in part 2 in a bit more depth. But yeah, that was a big achievement. My achievement there was to get on the stage. That was my main goal when I started my fitness journey, and I done it. So now I'm focusing on new goals, new aspirations and new achievements, and that's basically what I'm doing just now, mostly. I don't know. And yeah, I still have my car, my Audi 1, my wee competition Sportback. She's still alive and well. She's had a few bumps in the road, I'm not gonna lie. I'll put a little picture somewhere. Yeah, she's been through the mill and back. December 2023, she get crashed into a wall. Wasn't completely my fault. Basically, it was -5. I was driving along one of the country roads close to where I live. I hit black ice. I understeered and went up onto a wall. Went right through it, right on top of it. Don't worry, no one was injured. Some minor whiplash from me and a small head bump to my friend in the passenger seat. So we were all fine. No major injuries or anything like that, apart from the damage done to my car. But we got her fixed and she's now back on the road. I've had her back for about a year and she is still with us, which is absolutely fantastic because my car is my baby. I do not want kids, I want cars. That's my motto in life. Coming away from filming has been, I don't know, some mixed emotions. I mostly came away from it because of my nana passing. That was a massive big knock to my mental health and my mindset. I remember going to view her body and then going to the gym straight after and just crying in the corner. It was a weird time for me, so coming away from filming and coming away from content was a good kind of break in the sense of sitting in front of a camera. But I'm not gonna lie, I have missed it. I've missed it a lot, and it's took a while. I have filmed like wee things in between, but it's took me a while to actually sit down and do like a talkie vlog. Or talkie video, whatever you want to call it. It's took a while. If you see me looking down, by the way, I have notes. I have a very close friend that tells me to write things down, so I have wrote down 2 pages worth of notes here. So if you see me keep looking down, it's because I'm looking down at my notes. But we'll take a wee sip of coffee. We'll let you dwell on that a wee moment. So, the next thing I'm going to talk about is touching a wee bit on my personal life. Now, I don't want to put too much out there because I do like to keep some of my personal life private. But the last time I filmed, and a few videos that have been on my YouTube channel in the past, they won't be on the channel when this video gets posted. I was in a relationship. I am no longer in that relationship. So, after 6.5 years and a 1.5 year engagement, yes, you were correct in saying I was engaged. I got engaged December 2023 on Christmas Day. That is no longer the case anymore. So there's no ring. I didn't even show you a ring in the first place, so I could have just left that out. But I feel like being open and honest to an extent, not going into too much detail regarding it. Yeah, I'm a single Pringle. I'm not gonna lie, after 6.5 years of being in a relationship, I don't really know how to function as a single person. It is quite hard, you know, to adapt and things like that. It happened about 7 weeks ago, so it's still very raw. My ex-partner is no longer living here. He is doing his own thing. He is working on himself and his work and everything else in between, and that's completely okay, and I'm doing the same. I'm obviously still living in the flat that we originally got together. It was easier for me to stay here and for him to leave, so we obviously came to that agreement before we moved in, that if we were to unfortunately break up, that I would be staying here and he would be moving on. So that is completely fine. So the place is looking a little bit bare, I'm not gonna lie, especially through the back, but I'm enjoying my own space. I've always been one to enjoy my own space. It's really good for my head, it's really good for my mindset, and I'm one for routine now as well. That kind of comes part and part with the bodybuilding and the kind of gym era, fitness regime, things like that. Having a routine, having discipline, and that in tune just kind of brings more motivation and goals and aspirations and things like that. So they all kind of go hand in hand, but I've always been one for keeping a routine and keeping to my own space and doing kind of my own thing. I've always been kind of like a lone wolf in that instance. So it's one of those things that it's just unfortunate that we're no longer together. And yeah, and quite frankly, I do feel free. I do feel good. I have had my moments where obviously I'm scared what the future has in store, but I have multiple friends and family surrounding me, giving me advice, supporting me, being there for me, and I'm grateful for everyone that is in my life at this current moment in time. And yeah, I can only wait to see what the future holds in store. But I am nowhere near dating. I am nowhere near getting into another relationship. That is way down the line. But then again, I don't know what the future has in store, so we just need to wait and see. I do feel good. That's kind of the main thing for me. I do feel good and I feel happy and content within myself and with what I'm wanting to achieve in life. Because when I did meet my ex-partner, I was in such a dark headspace. I didn't think I was worthy of life. I didn't think I was worthy of a future. I didn't think I was worthy of marriage, possibly kids in the future, having my own place, things like that. And obviously he did bring that out in me and showed that I was worthy of that. But there was a lot of healing that I had to do within myself, and then once I did find my self-worth, I realised that there should have been more to give there in that instance. But regarding the relationship as such and the breakdown of that, I don't want to touch on it too much, just out of respect for him. But there was a lack of effort. We did both play a part in it, and there was a lack of effort there, and there was a bit of too much comfort, I think, within our relationship, and it was just a breakdown over the years, and it just came to light quite fast. And yeah, obviously he'll have his own opinions on our breakup and I have mine. I'm entitled to mine and so is he, but I do wish him all the best and I hope he does the same for me, and I just hope he's happy. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, and what's for you won't go by you. I always say that. My nana used to say that as well, so I always say that all the time. So work. We all need to work, people. We need to work to earn money to live our lovely lives. Unfortunately, again, the last time I filmed, I was working part-time for my local council, working in leisure. I am no longer doing that. I quit my job October 24. And do you know what I'm doing now? I own my own business. I don't know how, I don't know why. I don't know anything about running a business. I have had to learn as I go. Basically how it came about, I will touch on it a bit more in part 3. That will be more job, business and what I'm doing in there. But I've basically had to learn as I go. So a lot of deep breathing, a lot of meltdowns, a lot of crying, a lot of anxiety. But looking into it, I seen the potential. So I have a salon, a beauty salon and a spa. Did I think I was going to go into that? No, I did not. Because I am sports fitness recovery minded. I went to uni for sports studies and I went to college for sports coaching and development. So I generally thought I was going to be a sports coach in a school or a physical education teacher. So completely jumped. I basically went to college and uni for no reason, because I don't use any of my qualifications that I've got apart from a business module that I took out in uni of my own accord. So I'm quite glad I've done that, to be fair, because it has came into use for that. But yeah, I own my own business. I'm self-employed. That means I pick my own hours. I can take time off whenever I want. But does that mean I get time off? No, it does not. Because regardless, like right now, my phone is buzzing because I have got my booking system on my phone. So do I ever get to switch off? No, I do not. But would I change it? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't change it for the world. I generally would not. It's one of those things that I would just keep trying to evolve and just keep trying to make bigger and better and just keep trying with. With that has came some training in between that. I've learned how to be basically a junior hairdresser at 24 years of age, when averagely you would start that at 16 and build up in some sort of career in the beauty industry when you're in a salon. I have trained to be a makeup artist. Now, I've always had a thing for makeup. I know I don't really have a lot on right now, but I've always had a thing for makeup. I've always loved doing my makeup, so I'll touch on that a bit more in part 3, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I wouldn't change it for the world. I generally wouldn't, because going from part-time shift work, you know, day in, day out, to then going to picking my own hours, deciding when and where I want to work, is just, the freedom that you have is so good. I can't complain too much. I wouldn't change it for the world, like I said. And it's just, yeah, life's going good. I quite like it. And that's just the way it is. So we're going to have another wee sip of coffee. So, previous videos, I have touched on mindset and mental health. I suffer from episodic depression myself, and I am a big advocate for just mental health in general. It's something that is obviously getting spoken about a lot more now, but growing up it wasn't spoken about really. It only started really getting spoken about when I hit my early 20s. So the fact that I'm able to have the confidence to obviously talk on camera and speak about it and speak about my own personal issues and things, and hopefully maybe help someone else, I'm more than happy to do so. And if just before I get into it, if there is anyone sitting feeling like they're alone or they feel like they're in a bad place, please don't hesitate to message me or comment on the video or anything like that. If you need someone to talk to, I will happily sit there and listen, because there has been times in my life where I wish I had people to sit and listen to, so I will make sure that I am that person if you feel like you don't have anyone. We're going to start on mindset change just now. Okay, since breaking up with obviously my ex-partner, my friends are my everything. The people who are like surrounding me in day-to-day life, I am, oh my god, so grateful for yous, and yous know exactly who yous are. My friends who I'm phoning up at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, crying my eyes out, the ones that sit with me until 1, 2 in the morning just chatting random shit and just trying to keep my mind off things and letting me talk about the same things over and over and over again. Let me have my rants, you know, getting me out this place when I just want to sit in my little depression pit. But sometimes sitting in a depression pit is okay, just as long as you're able to pull yourself out of it. Now, I've been in both sides. I've been in the side where I've laid in my bed for days on end. I haven't showered, I haven't brushed my teeth, I haven't brushed my hair, you know, I would have like acne on me, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I was stinking because I wouldn't have like showered. I've been at both sides. I've been at the side where I've been sitting in my depression pit for days on end, like I said obviously, but I've also been at the side where I can recognise when I do need a duvet day and I need to sit in my depression pit and I need to sit with my thoughts and I need to sit with my feelings, and it's okay to feel the way you feel, you know. It's okay to not be okay that day. It's okay to feel sad, it's okay to feel angry, it's okay to feel your emotions, you know. I was always someone that suppressed their emotions. I was quite bad for it. I would suppress my emotions to the point where I would build it up for like months and months and months on end, and then one day I could be driving, someone cuts me off and I'm like out the car ready to start boxing with them, and I'm okay with saying that because I'm human at the end of the day. And if anyone's going to judge me, then I'm not being funny, but you've got your own issues to deal with if you're going to start judging someone for being human and having emotions. But it's about recognising those emotions and understanding why you're feeling those emotions, and that was something that I had to learn the hard way, I'm not going to lie, but that's something that, you know, I had to take into account. I have had therapy on my past trauma and how to deal with that, and I'm still learning as I go, especially now going into single life at 24 after over 6 years. You know, emotions do creep in, but I've always said that I've never been a crier. Now, I've probably cried more in the last month and a half than I have probably in my entire 24 years of life, just purely because I'm trying to change myself as a person. I'm trying to be better, not only for myself but for my friends and family, so that they can see the best version of me, and so that also for myself I am the best version I can be. For me, sometimes sitting, having a duvet day on the couch behind me, just sitting, taking the duvet from my bed with some popcorn and my coffee or my juice and just sitting, putting a sad movie on to let my emotions come out. It's about finding what's best for you. So when I feel angry, I go to the gym. When I feel stressed, I go to the gym. Now, I know everybody doesn't have that outlet, but it's about finding the right outlet for you. When I feel sad, my home is my safe space. So for me, I'll get a blanket, I'll get my comfies on, I'll cuddle my childhood teddy bear that I've had since I was born, and I'll cry it out, and that's okay. Again, like I said, if I feel angry or stressed, I'll go to the gym and I'll take all my anger and stress out on the weights. If I'm feeling anxious, I'll maybe speak to someone. I'll speak to like a friend or a family member. It's okay to talk about your emotions as well. I had to really accept that it's okay to talk about your feelings. I have struggled talking about my feelings for a while. Kind of like since I've had like my own opinion, I've kind of battled with like my own feelings, like obviously talking about my feelings, and again that's through past trauma, that we won't go down that road because I have healed from it, and again I'm trying to better myself as a person. But you know, like obviously That's maybe since like I was about 8 or 9, and that's a long time, you know, suppressing your feelings so much to the point where you end up blowing up. So like for me, it was either getting into a fight or getting into a really heated argument with someone, or driving angry and someone cutting me off and me getting out of the car and basically start having it out with a person who probably didn't deserve it. But those are decisions that I need to live with in life. So again, coming out of my relationship as well and trying to better myself as a person, it's something that I have really looked at within, you know, my head and within my mindset, and that's something that I wanted to change, because I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be someone who remembers me as, oh, that's that lassie that started screaming and shouting at my mum one day because she accidentally cut her off. That person could have been having a really bad day, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do have a temper. I do have attributes that I'm not proud of and not necessarily are good, but everyone has, you know, toxic traits and obviously positive traits. But again, it's about recognising those traits and then how to adapt and push forward, and that's just something that I'm still working on as a person, and that's okay. Everyone's different. Everyone has their own way of life. I'm just here to talk about me and talk about my story and hopefully help at least one person. I'm not saying that I've got a massive social media following and everything else. I don't expect anything to grow overnight or grow at all for that matter. I'm just here to talk basically to the camera and do what I want basically, because at the end of the day it's my life and I can do what I please, and that's just the way of it. My mental health, where I'm at, I'm feeling good, I'm not gonna lie. Don't get me wrong, I've had my moments though, you know, sitting contemplating life and contemplating what I'm doing and where I'm going and what the future holds and everything else, but I think that's more out of fear rather than feeling sad about it, because I'm actually excited about it when I'm actually thinking about it properly. I'm actually excited what the future holds. I want to achieve what I want to achieve, and I'll touch on that in parts 2 and 3 because that kind of caters more into those parts. But as a whole, I'm happy and I'm excited about just living life to the fullest and what I want to gain out of life as well. I want to experience things. I want to go out in the world. I want to, I don't know, climb a hill. I just, you know, this is one thing that I've realised being on my own is I have took a lot for granted, and I think having this space in my life to be able to reflect and be on my own and think about my thoughts and my feelings a bit more in depth, I think like taking in something as simple as the sunset and just being in the moment is absolutely amazing. So like driving later on at night when Scotland decides to give us some sun and give us a sunset, just to clarify, you know, it's good to see just the more positives in life, and I just feel like I didn't see that for such a long time. Again, I can thank my friends and family for that mostly, because they were the ones that have gave me advice and gave me, you know, motivation and just let me either cry it out or talk it out or rant it out or whatever, and just let me see the positives in life. And yeah, I'm in a good headspace right now, hence why I've probably started filming, I'm not gonna lie. But tomorrow's another day. I just take each day at a time, you know, like I can't say what tomorrow will bring because I don't. The only thing I know is that I'm going to work tomorrow, and whatever I have planned for the next day is what obviously I know about, but we don't know what the future holds, and it's all about just trying to be as positive as possible, because if we were all negative Nancy's, the world would be so boring. I'm not gonna lie, it would. But on that note, YouTube, this has now been a 40-minute recording, and I'm gonna end part 1 here because my camera's on 10%. I have spoke so much that I'm now hungry and I want to go and get some food, and I now need to film parts 2 and 3 for you. So these will be posted staggered, alright, they won't be all posted at the same time. But if you like this video, give it a like, comment down below what you would like to see, and yeah, let me know your thoughts and your feelings in the comment section, and I'll see yous in the next one.
Energy.